Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to Stubo FM. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me on this video, which is going to be the first episode of my Fm26 beta save, which is going to be, as you've gathered from the thumbnail, with Liverpool. Why Liverpool? Well, it's a good question. It wasn't the choice I was going to originally go with. I was going to go with Manchester United, but then at the last minute I thought, you know what? Liverpool haven't had a good start to the season, so let's try and put that right, and let's see what we can do to get the best out of one certain Mohamed Salah, who had a bit of a struggle this season to get into form. Not the only one. Liverpool as a whole have been quite inconsistent. They've had some good games, had some really bad games. So let's see what we can do to try and make things right over the course of one season, maybe two, and we'll see what happens. Now, the aim of the save is very simple. Full time before the main game comes out. But other than that, the main aim of the save is to win the Premier League. But also, we're going to have a crack at the Champions League as well. And we're going to see what resources we've got to do that. So, without any further ado, let's get to it. And we're here. FM26. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on this game. So far, the limited amount of time I've put into it, I'm really enjoying it. That's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own. It's definitely not perfect, but it's not as bad as some people are saying it is. It's just different. This looks completely different, but I don't mind different as long as it ends up being better, and I think it will be, personally. But we are here at Liverpool, and we are essentially just doing a bit of a welcome to the club episode to begin with, and then we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of the opening day of the season in the next video. So we're going to have a look and see what we've got to work with, and then we're going to have a look and see what we've got to work with in terms of resources to bring more players in. If we need them, we might not need them, but we'll see what happens. But if you're excited to see how we do this season, if you're excited to see how FM26 grows and develops, because it's going to continue to have little tweaks here or there as we go through, and see what the future of Football Manager holds as well. This is obviously day one of the brand new version of Football Manager, the brand new vision of it, if you will. But if you're excited to see how that's going to go, hit a like on the video for me and hit that subscribe button as well. Costs you nothing to do it, but puts a big smile on his face. What a gift that is. Why wouldn't you do it? If you don't want to do it, you're a monster. So, how are we looking in terms of the squad? Well, I've already had a bit of a play around with tactics. We'll get onto that in a moment. But let's just have a quick look at this squad and see what we've got to work with. It is a very good squad. They did win the league last season. So, you know, bear that in mind. We are working with some pretty good professionals here. Goalkeeper-wise, we've got no concerns. We've got Alisson. We've got Mamardashvili. Mamardashvili, I used him in my career save in FM24. Kind of at the back end of FM24, just before this game came out. He was the goalkeeper at Bayern Munich at that point, well into the 2030s, and he was a pretty good shot stopper in the Bundesliga. So we know we've got a good backup. We know we've got a good starting goalkeeper. We're off to a flyer to begin with. Now, I'm probably going to go forward at the back. Centre-back wise, we do need a centre-back. We've got three top centre-backs in Konate, Van Dijk and Gomez. I'm lacking a top quality fourth centre-back. I have got Reece Williams. In the nicest possible way, Reece Williams, you are not particularly fantastic if we have a look at you. You're not that good. I'm sorry, mate. You're just not. So we're probably going to ignore his existence. So we do need to bring someone in. Right back wise, probably going to go with right backs. We're going to have Jeremy Frimpong, who obviously was brought in to be the Trent replacement, and we're going to have Connor Bradley. Perfect. Absolutely fine with both of those. Left back wise, gutted Tsimikas is on loan. Really like him. We're going to have Robertson and Kakers, who was obviously brought in the summer. Really happy with both of those. Midfield, I'm probably going to go with something that has defensive midfielders. Defensive midfield wise, I'm a little bit torn as to what to do with this. We've got the defensive-minded defensive midfielder in Endo. He's 32. He's worth 23 to 25. We could cash in on him and we could put some money towards a new player in that position. But if we didn't go with a full defensive option and went with, let's say, a deep line playmaker, we're a bit spoiled. We've got three really good options in McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. The only problem with those three is all three of them are also options further forward. So we do need to decide where the best position for all of these players are. We'll probably do, I think Liverpool in real life did a little bit of Gravenberch as the holder. And that seems to work for them when they've done that. So we might copy them and do the same thing. And then Szoboszlai and McAllister have license to go further forward. The problem is, if we do that with Gravenberch, we then have to do something with Endo, because Endo can't really do that job. So maybe one does one role, one does another, depending on the opponents. I don't necessarily know. I don't like doing that. I'd rather just have one tactic. that all of the players could work with. I'm a master of multiple tactics. I have done that before, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to have a bit of a think about how that works. But midfield-wise, we're looking good. Maybe another defensive-minded defensive midfielder. And then in terms of the kind of forward-going midfielders, we have got 4 good ones in Curtis Jones, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Harvey Elliott's on loan at Villa. I actually think we might be okay with what we've got, but I feel like one more central midfielder, certainly a defensive midfielder, isn't going to hurt. Now, I'm either going to play with wingers or strikers, obviously, but I'm probably going to just go with strikers, actually. I actually think the way that Liverpool's team is, we just went with 2 forwards up top and an attacking midfielder, probably sensing the formation I'm going with. You probably had it spoiled as well. It's a diamonds. Then I think we've got Florian Wirtz playing just behind the strikers. I think that works really well. And then we've got Salah, Gakpo, Isak, Chiesa and Ekitike to be 2 strikers, 2 backup strikers and a backup attacking midfielder. I'm sensing Wirtz as the attacking midfielder, Isak and Salah. Where did Saka come from? I'm sensing those 3 as the starting attacking trio with Wirtz as the attacking midfielder and Salah and Isak as the strikers. And then we've got Gakpo, Chiesa and Ekitike as the backup 3. So Ekitike and Gakpo as the strikers and then Chiesa as the backup attacking midfielder. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards. And tactically, that is what I've already set up if I quickly show you. So in possession, I'm thinking this, and I have pushed the wing backs further forward because it gets the best out of Frimpong, and I think we're a good enough side that we can do that. Now defensively, I've got a setup like this. Just Wirtz tucks back into a midfield 3. He presses, these guys cover a bit further out wide. Endo just continues to do defensive midfielder things, and the defensive line do the defensive line. They just do their job. These guys press. We've got Isak who's going to drop back, and Salah's going to stay forward and be Mohamed Salah, basically. I think that's got the makings of a good tactic. I might bring these guys back in the in-possession formation if it doesn't quite work out. And we might have to have a bit of a play around with this. I toyed with the idea of these guys splitting and being wingers in out of possession just to maybe try and disrupt the defence. I don't know whether I am going to do that. That might be a bit too crazy. But we'll think about it and we'll see what we're going to do. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this, though. I really am. Now, granted, this is a bit of an introductory episode. We're not necessarily going to be playing any football today, unfortunately. But it's worth having a look at everything that's brand, shiny and new. Now, I haven't really looked through a lot of this stuff just yet because I've just gone with a vertical tiki-taka as a tactic, purely because it's what was selected as the kind of best one to go for. I haven't gone with the gegenpress. I think that this could be a good idea with this team. I think it's got really good quality to do it. Now, I'm going to go with a higher line. I'm not going to go much higher just at this point. We'll stick with what it is at the moment. Defensive line behaviour, balance. Do we want it to step up or drop off at the moment? I think we'll keep it as balanced for the time being. We want to trigger the press more often. Maybe we don't go much more often just yet. We'll wait for the time being just to see how we go. We're going to counter press people, I think. Yeah, I'm okay with counter pressing. That's fine. And then we're going to go with the standard tackling just for the time being. In terms of the high press, how are we doing? This is the in possession tactics, really. I mean, we're kind of. Is this in? No, it's not. Okay, yeah, slight glitch in the game there. That's absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about. So, I mean, we'll continue doing the out of possession ones. Why not? I mean, this is how the team is going to look out of possession, and I think it's set up to be quite formidable. I think I love this screen, by the way. This is one of my favourite new screens that they've added in, just being able to see where the team players will be in the middle of different phases of play, different areas. Now, we're going to trap players outside. No, do you know what? Actually, further forward, we are going to trap them outside, and we're going to also make sure the goalkeeper goes short. In fact, are we going to... What is this option? So, short goalkeeper distribution... Oh yeah, we want to make it play long. Yeah, we want to make them play long. That's exactly what we want to do. And then in the mid block, what we're going to do, trap outside. No, in mid block, we're going to switch and we're going to go trap inside. I want to funnel them into the middle so that they have to play through us. And then we're going to, you know what, we're going to balance on that. We don't need to worry too much about that. Right, now in possession, I haven't looked at this properly for this one just yet. Short passing is fine. Tempo, I want to be a bit higher. I don't want it to just be low. I don't want us to be completely narrow. I want, you know, narrow but not too narrow. Do you know what? I'm going to go standard because we're already narrow anyway. So we're going to do that. We're going to counter-attack, obviously. I'm not going to have us be too expressive. We're not going to time waste at the moment. I'm going to say we're going to keep the ball in play. But yeah, do you know what? We're going to play for set pieces. Why not? Let's do it. In the final third, what are we going to do? Dribbling, balanced, fine. Patience, go with standard. Let's do a bit of everything. Same with shots on distance. Low crosses, I'm okay with low crosses, but I'm going to go with just standard for the time being. Balanced rather, because Isak is decent in the air. Progression, both flanks in terms of supporting runs. I think I'm okay with that, with the overlap, because that will be the fullback. So yeah, let's do that. And underlap, we'll keep it with balanced. Won't go too crazy with that just at the moment. Dribbling is balanced. Progressing through the middle is fine. We are built to go through the middle. And then pass reception is going to be into feature into space. We're going to go into space. We'll try and build some space and try and play into it. Then build up. We're going to play through the press. No, I think we're going to go balanced on this one, just so we have a bit of everything. We might go back to that and have a look at it. In terms of the way that we're passing and how we're going to be getting the ball from the goalkeeper to everyone else, I'm going to say we're going to go mixed. I quite like the idea of lumping it forward every now and then just to keep the other team off balance. I wish we could control the frequency of that, but that's something I do quite like having the idea of. And then we're going to be distributing to centre-backs to begin with. We might as well. We've got two very good centre-backs. And that, I think, is the tactic. And I'm quite happy with it. I am quite happy with it. Obviously, there's still a fair bit we need to do. We still need to make sure that everything is working in pre-season as we think it's going to. Because for all I know, everything that I've just set up could be absolute nonsense. Hopefully that isn't the case, but it very well could be. But I think we're well set up here. I think at minimum we're going to win the Premier League in this first season. Unless I have completely misjudged how to play this game and my tactics make complete nonsensical mistakes that really shouldn't be being made at this point. In which case everyone has the kind of the permission to laugh at me really at that point. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Right, this is going to be kind of a short introduction video because I am pretty much going to end the video in a minute because until I get forward to the next game, there's not really much I can do. I am excited to get underway, though. I think that this is going to be, when all is said and done, a huge step forward for Football Manager. Now, I know a lot of people are already not very happy with it, but give it a chance. Just give it a chance. Rome was not built in a day, and, you know, Football Manager has made mistakes in the past that they've taken a long time to get right. So let's give it a chance. Before we do go, I will just talk about recruitment and what we're looking to do in regards to that. Money-wise, we've got a fair bit, actually. We've got £41 million available to us to throw at someone or someone's unknown. And we've got £200,000 in the wage budget. Now, what I'm thinking is, in terms of moving people on and things like that, I actually think the squad that we've got at the moment doesn't need much in terms of trimming. I actually think it's had all of that done for it. I do think we can lose a goalkeeper or two. I'm thinking Freddie Woodman doesn't get as much in, no, to be fair. Reece Williams doesn't get as much in as well. This guy Mrozek, maybe we loan him out, but he hasn't got that much potential, so maybe not. Ramsey doesn't have a lot of value, but maybe we move him on. Connor Bradley we're definitely keeping. Maybe we loan out and go Ungamoa. Oh, I'm going to get that wrong. We loan him out just because I can't say his name, basically. And then the other Trents we're going to probably get rid of as well, just to make some funds. But then we don't really have many other players we can sell just at the moment. So we're probably going to be stuck with that 40 million, which is fine. It's plenty of money. But maybe we move Endo on. But then is 25 million enough to get an adequate replacement defensive midfielder? I don't know. But maybe 40 million is. So we're going to have a look. Maybe we look at the loan market and see what we can bring in. Who knows? But again, I'm thinking in terms of positions that we definitely need someone in. I would say we definitely need to bring in a defensive midfielder, maybe a central midfielder, and a centre back as well. £40 million isn't going to go very far. We'll see what we can do. But really, that's kind of going to be it for today's video. Now, we will be back for the first game of the season in August, and the first game of the season is going to be against, well, it's going to be the Community Shield against Crystal Palace, which in real life, did Crystal Palace win or did Liverpool win? I feel like Crystal Palace won it. I could be wrong on that. Crystal Palace, I'm going to have a double check of that. I've got in my head that Crystal Palace won the Community Shield. I could be completely wrong. I'm checking this on my phone. It wasn't even that long ago. It was only a couple of months ago. I've literally forgotten who won it. Yeah, they did win it. Crystal Palace won it. So maybe we try and set the tone early by making sure we win that game where in real life that didn't actually happen. So we'll try and do that. And then we'll get to the first Premier League game of the season on the Friday against Bournemouth, and we'll see if we can beat them as well. That feels like a plan. But that is going to be doing it for this video. It's probably the shortest one that I'm going to make of the entire save. My videos tend to go on the longer side, so this will be a nice little change of pace. I will see you for the opening games of the season. Firstly, Community Shield against Crystal Palace, and then the opening game against Bournemouth. And fingers crossed, we'll get off to a good start. That is the plan. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, leave a like on there for me and hit that subscribe button so that I know people like it. It's as simple as that. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next video for the first game of the season. Cheers.